Hi everyone, so today I'm out with Ivy, and at the moment our walks are looking a little bit different because she's in season. So we are walking a little bit later in the day, we are finding little corners of the field to hide in, and she is staying on lead. And she's also not particularly in the mood for doing any completely complex training. So what I thought I'd do is use an opportunity to do a video on how I'm teaching her to switch off. Now this is one of the things that I didn't know was important when I got Tia, so I never did it. So we went out, we used to do loads and loads of training, but I never taught her how to do nothing. And so it's such an important life skill for all dogs, but particularly our high energy gun dogs. So I thought I'd do a little video on showing you how I'm teaching Ivy to switch off. You ready? So the method that I'm using to train this is one that I have picked up from a huge variety of different trainers. So Helen Phillips has got it in her Clicker Gundog book, Jane Arden's got it on her online Waggerwuffins community, it's in the Leanne Smith book on Whose Walk Is It Anyway, and it's just everywhere really. So this is the version of all of those trainers styles that I'm finding is working with Ivy. I have experimented with some different nuances to it, and this is what I've currently settled on. So the common theme that I've found with all of the different versions of this exercise is the physical setup of the dog, the lead and the person. So the dog is attached to the lead, and then the lead goes down to the floor. You then place your foot on the lead and then have the remainder of the lead coming up from your foot to your hand. So there should be enough slack on the lead between your foot and your dog's neck or their harness or their collar or whatever it is, that your dog can sit, can lie down, can stand up, but not do much else. And then essentially you stand there doing nothing for a period of time. So all of the methods that I've seen taught gradually build up the duration that you're standing doing nothing. So to start off with, you might just have your foot on the lead for 5 seconds. You then pick it up and re-engage with your dog before then doing another repetition, and maybe you build up to 10 seconds, and you gradually build up the duration of how long your dog is staying with you doing nothing. This is particularly important because we don't want the dogs to get frustrated during this exercise. So if we leave it too long, you'll find that maybe your dog starts to bark or whimper, or maybe they start digging or chewing the lead or doing any sort of undesirable behaviour because we've not built the exercise up in small enough chunks. So you'll see that Ivy is having a little bit of a sniff around whilst we're in this do nothing phase, and for me that's absolutely fine. I want her to just kind of switch off and relax, so having a bit of a sniff about is perfectly acceptable, and she does then lie down and start to settle. Now we've 100% not perfected this yet, so there is still a little bit of anticipation in her. You can see that when she's staring up at me, but we're definitely starting to improve. So we're just slowly building up the repetitions, and she's starting to get the hang of doing nothing. So then if I walk you through some of the different things that you can play about with this exercise to suit your dog. So with Ivy, to start the exercise, I lower the lead to the floor and then place my foot on it. I then say my cue, which is chill, and then I sprinkle a few bits of food on the floor in front of her before then standing upright and ignoring her. Now, not all of the varieties that I've seen use that method of giving a cue and then sprinkling some food. However, I found it particularly useful with Ivy because when we're doing this, it's often after she's done something very exciting. So if she's just been doing some retrieves and then she comes back and I want her to chill out and do nothing, then it helps to start to bring her excitement levels down by giving her the opportunity to do a little sniff and search. But some varieties just put your foot on the lead, and that physical change in your body language is the cue. You don't need to say anything, you don't need to put any food down, and you just start ignoring your dog immediately. So 2 variations there on how to start the exercise. And then you've got the period of the exercise that you're trying to get the dog to settle and relax by doing nothing. So with Ivy, I do stand doing nothing at all. When I started trying this out with her, I used one of the varieties which involved dropping bits of food down for her while we were standing. What I found though was that I started to create the wrong emotional response from her. So she was waiting in anticipation and in a state of alert, ready for me to drop the next piece of food, not just chilling out and relaxing. So because of that, I stopped using food throughout the exercise, and I do just stand there doing nothing, as you can see. But dropping food might be a method that works for some dogs. It just didn't work for Ivy. And then once you've done the duration of time that you are happy with, I then pick the lead up. I then say ready, which is my cue to Ivy that we're about to do stuff. And then I cue a behaviour. So during this exercise, I was cueing her to do some heel work, but really it can be any behaviour. And then she gets rewarded after completing that behaviour. So she's not getting a reward as a direct result of lying down doing nothing, but she is being rewarded by the opportunity to do movement and then to start engaging in some training again. And the reason I'm choosing not to reward her immediately after the doing nothing phase of the exercise is again just because I don't want her to be creating a state of anticipation that the food's going to come. So she's only getting rewarded after she completes a cued behaviour. But another variety that I've seen of this is that you just pick the lead up and then start walking. So the reward for the dog is that they get to move about again. So that's another option. But that's about it really. So it's quite a straightforward exercise, but it's a really good one to add into your repertoire for your training sessions, whether it's you do it between repetitions or between changing exercises or something, just to get them starting to get in the habit of doing nothing and that being okay and just part of normal day-to-day life.